That was Americans for Tax Reform's Grover Norquist with me yesterday discussing the spending bill. And in particular, we talked about the IRS and how it is going to be targeting small businesses, and it is going to get huge amounts of money, $80 billion, so that the administration can hire 87,000 new IRS agents. The Wall Street Journal follows up this morning with the editorial board slamming Democrats' massive spending bill over a similar issue we discussed yesterday, arguing the plan boosts the power of the IRS to audit tens of millions of Americans, saying that the IRS is about to go beast mode. Joining me right now is Tennessee Senator Bill Hagerty. He's a member of the Foreign Relations, Appropriations, and Banking Committees. Senator, great to see you this morning. Thanks very much. Do you agree with this take that it's about to go beast mode for the IRS, given all of that money earmarked for the IRS?
Maria, you got to ask yourself a few questions. One, the IRS either assumes that you've got Americans cheating to the tune of $200 billion. That must be one of the considerations. Two, the IRS is just so inefficient they haven't been able to collect this money. Or three, have they just come up with a plug number to justify this massive spending bill? I think it's number three. But with this many agents being hired, I think they're coming after all of us. That's got to be the plan. I just don't think that the squeeze is worth the juice, as they say. This is going to be, very, very distracting to the American public. And really, I think this is a gimmick to justify a big number of taxes that they'll never be able to collect, because I don't believe Americans are cheating to the extent that the IRS or the legislators here that have drafted this seem to suggest.
So, Senator, the last time we spoke about this was during the Build Back Better negotiations, and we talked about Joe Biden wanting to see every transaction $600 or more. And I know that then they lifted that number. Is that what we're looking at, that this president and the Democrats want to see every transaction $600 or more in your banking accounts? The banks are going to send that data, and that's how they're going to try to figure out if there are tax cheats there?
Clearly, they want all of our data. This is just like the Chinese Communist Party. They want to be able to snoop and look into every aspect of our life, Maria. And that amount of data creates a tremendous amount of reporting overhead. It's going to increase cost for businesses that have to make all these reports. It's going to make it next to impossible for small businesses and entrepreneurs to deal with. They don't care. They're so out of touch with the economy and out of touch with reality that they're just going to continue to plow through, because this generates fictitious numbers that they use here in the Congress to justify even more massive spending.
So Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen sending a letter to congressional leadership yesterday promoting the Inflation Reduction Act. And I keep saying, only in Washington can you spend almost $800 billion or $300 billion spending on climate and call it an Inflation Reduction Act. She writes this: the legislation would either reduce or have no effect on the taxes due or paid by any family with income less than $400,000 and is fully consistent with the president's pledge. Senators Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema were seen talking in the Senate chamber for about 15 minutes yesterday. We don't know Sinema's stance on the bill, but what about this $400,000 and the pledge that they say no one's taxes are going to go up? Do you agree with that? Is that true?
I don't agree with it. They should call this the Income Reduction Act, not the Inflation Reduction Act. It's absolutely going to cause prices to go up, because when you increase prices on manufacturers, those prices are going to have to be, or when you increase cost on manufacturers by increasing their taxes, those costs are going to have to be passed on to consumers. That will be borne by the middle class, the lower class. It's going to be inherently inflationary, and that's the most pernicious tax of all. The Biden administration seems to be more than happy to precipitate more and more inflation. We're also going to have something happen that is the last thing you do when you enter a recession. And you've seen Joe Manchin say this in the past. You've seen Chuck Schumer say this in the past. The last thing you do is raise taxes as you go into a recession. What they want to do is increase the tax burden on manufacturers. That will have the impact of reducing capital investment. That means economic growth slows or reverses. That means fewer jobs. Again, the last thing you do as you enter into a recession.
Well, they need 50 votes to get this passed. They need Kyrsten Sinema from Arizona. Do you know how she's going to vote? Have you spoken with her? Do you have any idea how she's leaning?
I don't know at this point, Maria, how she's leaning, but I do know that there will be immense pressure on her to vote for this. Negotiations are underway right now. The Democrats are negotiating with themselves. I think, as you and certainly the American public know, this reconciliation process has no input from Republicans. This will be an entirely partisan bill passed by 50 Democrat senators plus Vice President Harris. So we don't have input into this. It just is a matter of where the Democrats land, and all eyes are on Kyrsten Sinema right now.
Senator, I want to give you a chance to explain why you voted in favor of the CHIPS Plus bill last week. We've had a number of your colleagues on who say they voted no because, number one, it was way too much money for one industry. Number two, it's called CHIPS Plus, and they worried about what the plus is. It can turn into another wildly expensive spending plan. And number three, they say, why give the Democrats a win when every policy they're coming out with is a failure going into the midterm elections? But you voted for the CHIPS Act. Why?
I voted for it because my eye has been on China and the threat that China possesses for the United States. If you think back to what's happened here in the United States over the past year and a half with chip shortages right here, we need to get our supply chains back to America. And this bill is aimed at doing just that. It's got to level the playing field because China and Europe are playing by a different set of rules. That's the major thrust of this. The plus part of it, those are funds that are authorized but not yet appropriated. I serve on the Appropriations Committee, and I aim to do everything I can to make certain that as those funds are appropriated, they're done in a manner that's measurable, that generates a return on investment for taxpayers. I think that's where we need to be focused, not short-term political wins or losses, but we've got to get, from a national security standpoint, we've got to get these supply chains back. We are far too dependent on other nations that don't have our best interest at heart for critical industries like semiconductor manufacturing. And I'll add this, Maria, an important piece of legislation came along beside that I authored, and it makes the investments that we're talking about actually make sense. When I called the CEOs of semiconductor manufacturers around the world and asked them, why don't they make the chips here in America? They had a variety of reasons, but every one of them told me this. It takes 5 to 6 years to permit a chip fabrication facility here in America. These are multi-billion-dollar plants, a lot of water, a lot of electricity, and many permits. 5 to 6 years to permit these facilities. That means that the chips are obsolete by the time they're ready to be put together and produced. So what this legislation does that I passed separately completely compresses that timeline from 5 to 6 years down to something closer to 18 months.
Okay.
It forces the bureaucrats to process in parallel rather than in series. This makes sense for America, and it will make us competitive again.
Well, I agree with the producing this critical item in America and, of course, keeping China at bay. But, Senator, why did Chuck Schumer remove the Portman provision within this bill that would have ensured we know when and if China is continuing to steal intellectual property? So if you want to keep China at bay, why remove that provision?
That was very frustrating to me as well. Rob Portman is continuing to work on getting that provision inserted into the National Defense Authorization Act. That argument is not over, and we continue to push for that.
All right, Senator, it's great to have you on this morning. Thanks very much for your leadership. Senator Bill Hagerty joining us this morning.
Thank you.